Hi, I think it's on. Hope so. Um, Very strange. So yeah, I should probably start with adverts. So there's um there's one on social distancing, obviously. Stay apart. Okay, so it's 8 o'clock, and I'm assuming that you can hear me, and someone will tell me if you can't. My name is Aoibheann McCann. I am a writer from Galway, and I want to thank the Holding Cell for inviting me to read, and Dura Press for the fabulous anthology that we're all reading from this week, Galway Stories 2020. I even have a coffee mark on it already. Um, Really, really good book. I'm lucky that I'm the opening story, and I'm opening tonight at 8, which is now. Courch was due to be on this week, so it's weird because we're supposed to launch the book tomorrow, but that's been postponed. I'd like to thank Roz and Simon at the Holding Cell, and that's the holdingcell.eu. I'd like to thank John and Lisa from Dura Press, and Alan McMonigal, who edited it with Lisa. Courch as well is on this week on a digital format, so do tune in there, and watch out for tomorrow night. Celeste Auger is reading from Galway Stories as well at 8 o'clock. And Orla Foyle, another contributor, is reading on Friday. And I think there's more to come. So hello to everyone in Galway and my friends and family in Donegal and Limerick and Belfast, and my writing partner in Paris, if she's listening, Andy. I haven't been doing much writing myself, but by myself, but I've been writing with my writing partner, so that's brilliant. We're writing a comedy, but for now this isn't very funny, this story, but I'm going to read all of it because it's quite short. All right, so thank you. It's called The Blowen's Guide to Galway. You have only been in Galway for a few weeks, but Claire has been here for a few months, so she teaches you all she knows. You came here to get a job, and she came here to do a secretarial class at the technical college. You can't picture it when she tells you this. You imagine her split-ended, henna'd hair would get tangled in the typewriters. The grey skyline is thronged with cranes, and the air shudders with the reverberation of rock breakers in the daytime, so you stay in bed until 6 o'clock every evening, except on Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, you go with Claire to collect your dole. Then you do your weekly shopping in the Londis on Father Griffin Road, where butter vouchers are treated like cash. You buy the cheapest cuts of chicken, run the gamut of the cross-eyed butcher and his leering about thighs and legs. You throw in a few wings if you laugh along with them, though you roll up your eyes and give him the finger when he turns to weigh them. On the way to the till, you stand with your back to Claire to provide cover for the jars of Dolmio sauce and the tins of sardines that vanish into her velvet patchwork bag. Claire got the bag from the cerebral palsy charity shop, where you buy a leopard skin coat for £5 to go with the leggings and the vest top and the red bra from Penny's, all bottomed off with your faithful black Doc Martens. In the evenings, you and Claire spent hours putting on the makeup that she shoplifts from upstairs in Roach's stores. You listen to the Red Hot Chili Peppers or the Prodigy, smoking joints and drinking cans. You keep a towel by the window that you wrap around your hair before you stick your head out if someone rings the doorbell. If they look like they might wreck your head, you say you're in the shower and slam down the sash before the smoke escapes or they hear the music. Then it's off to Mixers or the King's Head or Cullinan's, where you and Claire flirt with the middle-aged men who might buy you drinks and then set the bouncers on them if they come on too strong. Then out to Salt Hill, where it's free into the Castle or the Warwick after 1 a.m. You dance beside the speaker and your hands join in communion with the strobe lights. As the crowd is herded out the door, you finish off the best of the discarded drinks. Then out onto the street for the banter and the fights until the last of the clubbers have left in taxis. You laugh at the girls in the high heels. The only time you have to get a cab is if you're so gasping for cigarettes on the night that you have to go to the 24-hour Esso off the dual carriageway. You wait near Mighty Max for the leftover food they throw out the back, then home between the edge of the prom and the marsh, where you rob a clothesline or two and pick up the few bits to go with the coats you take from the clubs, or just sheets and towels to save you from paying for the laundrette. Pat, the old security guard, shines a torch in your face when the two of you are at the back of the building site one night looking for scrap wood for the fire. You screech to distract him from his suspicions by pretending Claire is peeing. You end up in the hut where he is stuck alone all night. There are maps on the wall, and you are reminded of a film where the detective turns up and asks questions about the body that has been uncovered by the excavators. Pat is added to your routine with his dirty teacups that he uses to share a tartan flask of warm whiskey. He never touches you, and his woodbine cigarettes that he lets you smoke. You don't know what you talk to him about, maybe the changes in the city, maybe where he is from and you aren't, or maybe the new apartments that he is supposed to be looking after and the people who will live in them after they are complete. You decide to leave the clubs alone for a while because the bouncers start following you around after one girl says Claire is wearing her hoodie and the other one says you took her bag. You start smoking a joint in bed because the fear is waking you up early. You wish you had some more of those yellow tablets, as your nerves have been shot since you dropped the Superman acid and went mad decorating the flat with tinsel and fairy lights from the pound shop, though it is months till Christmas. But the doctor has told Claire that he's not having any more of it, so it has to be the hash, though for the last few months it's been laced with diesel and gives you a headache. You get it in the Canal or the Hibernian or the Galway shawl, empty apart from the denimed men with badly repaired noses who sell bad deals by the pool tables. Sometimes you walk up past the Rahoon flats where the fields multiply unceasingly until the orange glow of the city meets the salmon sunrise, and you look across the bay to the Burren, and although you are on a farmer's land, it's not the same as the countryside where you were brought up. You don't feel watched here. And you wander for hours in the mist, your boots soaked with dew, your pockets full of magic mushrooms, and everything is real but not real, and there's no wrong, and there's no right. This is just how it is done. The girls downstairs used to be good crack, but now they just bang on the ceiling, so you and Claire turn up the music. They move out. Your landlord is a country man with a big flat face. He gives rent receipts and doesn't seem to care who lives there as long as they don't complain about the state of the place. Linda and Kevin move in. You can't remember where you met them first, maybe in the community welfare office in Shantla where you collect your rent allowance once a month, or maybe on the street drinking. You drink in Ayr Square now as it's cheaper and there are no bars left that will serve you. You feel sorry for Kevin. Linda says that he was made homeless because of his father's gambling or a sectarian house fire, or that he was made leave West Belfast by men in balaclavas when he was caught joyriding. Kevin gets his dole on a Tuesday. Linda buys a 10-kilo bag of potatoes and sulks on Munster Avenue that they bake, boil or mash for dinner every day and then fry up the leftovers at night when they come back from drinking. Linda has fled Ballymena to escape glue sniffing, postnatal depression, or child abuse charges, depending on the day or how much cider she has drunk. She has the hair of a 40-year-old housewife and the tracksuit of a 13-year-old. When they tell you they are getting married, you make a pot of mushroom tea and bring it downstairs in its tea cosy, a knitted one, yellow and mauve, that you stole from a bin bag outside the Simon shop early one morning. You can't remember what you wear to the church, but there are flowers in Claire's hair, white flowers. Linda and Kevin are holding hands and smiling at each other on the altar. Linda wears a white lacy top and white trousers and white court shoes. Kevin wears a black suit, flecked with purple, a red rose in the buttonhole. You're not sure who takes the photographs, as all the pews are empty. After you leave the Augustinian church, you go to McDonald's on Key Street for fish and chips. Linda and Kevin buy themselves a Manchester United mirror to celebrate. The next day, Linda and Kevin tell the St. Vincent de Paul that they can't cope on the dole, and soon the white-haired women with the pioneers' pins visit. They purse their lips and ask questions about the North. But the following Friday, and every Friday after that, a large bag of coal is delivered to stoke the fireplaces in the sitting room and the bedroom. Some of the heat drifts upstairs through the cracks in the ceiling. You go to the office in Augustine Street and ask for a visit from the women. But you only get Dunnes Stores vouchers that have no alcohol, no cigarettes stamped on the back in firm black letters. They can only be used out in Terryland, and it is too far to walk. But you and Claire go back to the basement where the EU surplus corned beef and stewing steak are given out for free in white paper tins. Linda adds it to the mash that you eat before you go back up to Eyre Square. When you and Claire walk towards the hut in the night, that is all that is left of your old routine now, you speculate about Pat's life. He lives with his mother. He was in the army. He is secretly gay. One night he shows you around the show apartment. It is warm even though it is in the middle of the night. He invites you out to his house. He says he'll get a big bottle of whiskey to celebrate. You don't recognise the address, so he offers to pick you up, but you say no. You pretend you have a car, that you have boyfriends. You don't know why you take Linda. Maybe Kevin talks you into it. You get a cab past the outskirts of the city, past the red and white of the 24-hour Esso. Pat is waiting by the gate. You follow him round the back and into a green and white caravan that is not much different to the hut. He sits in front of the brown paisley curtains, his thick glasses glinting in the dim light as he pours a bottle of Jameson into what he says are Galway crystal tumblers. Linda sits beside him and talks incessantly about the bonfires and the RUC and the time her father tried to kill her mother. You stare out the window at the dark void of the dilapidated house Pat tells you he's having renovated. Pat says, "Who's going to give me a kiss?" And Linda says, "Me." So you and Claire drink more than your share of the whiskey while their silhouettes join in the half light. Then they stop and act as if it never happened. When you begin to think about it, maybe it didn't. But you understand now that Linda has spoiled it all. Though Claire will try and convince you otherwise, you're going to have to move out of the flat and leave them all behind. As Claire starts rolling a joint for the road, you imagine your life 2 or 3 years down the line. You'll have made new friends with highlights in their hair, friends with jobs and boyfriends who'll go for a few drinks in O'Connell's before a Friday night. And then they'll go to the Bentley for a quick bop. You'll be living in one of those new apartments, up early every morning to put on your nylon uniform and your name badge, staring at the storage heaters while you eat your cereal, bringing the bin bags out to the shed where the hut used to be. So there you go. That's the story. And this is the book. So brilliant book. Buy it here at durpress.com. And thanks for joining me in my first live stream. Thanks to everyone. Good night, I think.